My question to Prashant Bhushan is, Mr. Bhushan, this is what some senior ministers in the government have been saying. I'm not taking names, I'm telling you what the thinking is. They say that we will bring in a draft of this, we'll bring in the draft bill in Parliament. Once we bring it in Parliament, Mr. Bhushan, it is the ownership of that bill before it becomes a law is that of Parliament. It's not only of the government. So, obviously Chandan Mitra's party is also included in that process. You buy that argument. And to that extent, what would you say to Chandan Mitra today, who says that it's a responsibility of the government to bring the bill and then we'll see?
Well, I think this view that is being again and again espoused by many people, including Mr. Sundaram, that look, it is for Parliament to make the law and therefore why should we debate it or why should we say anything, let Parliament take a call. I think this is an absurd view. Of course, it's true that Parliament will ultimately make the law, but the question is, what kind of law will Parliament make? If they make a law which says that, look, we concede everything what you want, but the Lokpal shall be the Home Minister, should we just say, look, should people say, why are you fighting? This is only one of your 34 points. If they have conceded 33 points out of 34, why are you fighting over this? Let the Home Minister be the Lokpal. I mean, we are talking of an absurdity that the investigative machinery of the Lokpal shall continue to remain under government's control. I mean, then what's the point of having a Lokpal? Then there was no point of this whole debate. So therefore, of course Parliament will make the law, but are the people of this country, are political parties not obliged, not only entitled but indeed obliged to say, do we want a Lokpal like this, or what kind of Lokpal do we want? Do we want a Lokpal which has no investigative machinery and it can only ask a government-controlled investigative machinery to investigate? Then what's the point of the Lokpal? And we should say this before the law is passed. Because after the law is passed by Parliament, it becomes a fait accompli. Then we have to fight a much longer battle to get it amended, etc. Therefore, this is the right time for people to say this. That's what we have been saying.
In that case,
if the government passes a Lokpal bill with a CBI as being the investigative machinery which continues to remain under government control, then I'm afraid we will have to. We have no other option but to take the movement to the streets again and agitate.
Well, I think, watch. Santosh Desai, I'm coming to you. Santosh Desai, you've been listening on to this debate. Do you feel now that collision course is certain? Because there is absolutely nothing concrete from the BJP in terms of agreeing with the government. Let me put it that way. They have distanced themselves from this whole debate.
The government hasn't said, let the government come with a proposal. What do you mean BJP?
So you're hearing the things which are being reported in the media.
Let the government... No, I'm not going, no media. Arnab, you cannot speculate like this. This is very irresponsible. The bill is coming in the next few hours. And let us just wait and then debate.
Sir, Chandan Mitra.
This is absolutely incorrect.
Chandan Mitra, with all respect, the fact is that when we say government sources have told us that this is our position on the CBI, it's pretty much certain that that's what we're not making it up.
You are not the government.
Let's leave the government aside.
Government sources are telling us, Mr. Mitra.
Let the government.
Government sources are telling us.
Spokesman should have been here on your channel right now and said this.
I think government...
But all this time the government hasn't made its position clear. And a thing which is so obvious has dragged on and on and on. Now when we want to discuss it, you say still wait for the bill because it's being considered by the government. Why should we wait? Why doesn't the government respond? They are our representatives.
Right.
This is what we want. This is what the country wants. This is how you get rid of corruption. Let them say A, B, C, D what we want to do. Now we sit here and say no, don't discuss anything because they still have to decide.
Mr. Bhatia and Mr. Bhatia and Mr. Bhushan,
the government wants to hold on to the power of investigation.
One second. Now,
Yeah, I just want to come in here. Mr. Bhushan and Mr. Bhatia, when the government presents the Lokpal bill in Parliament, it will be televised, the entire country will be watching. We'll be hearing the opinion of each and every member of Parliament from different political parties.
So
and let's take a stance
not the
thereafter.
point.
The question remains, what I
You're delaying the inevitable.
No, Arnab, I
That's not
object
the
to
point.
what Mr. Bhushan said.
isn't that delaying the inevitable?
No, I'll tell you something. Let's be transparent about it. Mr. Bhushan says that even if Parliament passes a bill that somehow doesn't satisfy
No,
Team
but
Anna, they will take to the streets.
I still would
that
ask.
to me is a worrying
one
development.
second.
One sec, I need to talk. I need to respond to this.
Mayank
No,
Gandhi.
why?
Are we just
Because Parliament, let's understand today, Parliament today is not what the Constitution wanted it to be.
1 minute.
No,
The
I need
Constitution
to.
doesn't say that you bribe voters. The Constitution doesn't say use goons. The Constitution doesn't say use black money. So the sanctity you claim for Parliament today
Every
is
member
not
of
there on the
Parliament-
ground.
1 minute.
So don't keep
One-
pointing to
one-
Parliament and the Constitution.
1 minute.
Unlike people like Anna who represent the
I
citizens'
have a
voice.
very fundamental
That's
question
the new
today.
Indian
I need to
politics.
I have a very
Arnab.
fundamental question today which I am putting out. I am coming to right after that, but Chandan Mitra, I want to answer it after that. Would the BJP's position change depending on what the government puts in? The BJP, I presume, has a position on the issue, irrespective of what is there in the draft report. Chandan Mitra, I'm coming to you for a response. Mayank Gandhi.
No, I want to ask Mr. Jha, are we just voters that we have to vote every 5 years and wait for Parliament to do the trick? Or are we citizens of this country that we can fight every day for injustice? Are we just a representative democracy or are we a participatory democracy? Do you understand democracy? Do you understand how this constitutes?
Mr. Mayank Gandhi, I would like to ask you a question. Which MP did you vote for in the last election?
Right.
Why didn't you have you spoken to your local member of Parliament? Have you gone and protested with him?
Of course, we have spoken to the Parliament.
And what
we
did
have
he
gone
tell
and
you?
Who are
geared him.
these people?
Let me tell you, you have the right to
50% of India
vote.
doesn't
You're
vote.
making
You have a right to protest, but you don't have a right to hijack and abuse Parliament.
No, 1
You
second.
can't do that.
Ridiculous. We are just protesting. Who's
No,
hijacking
no.
protest?
Yes, if
What?
Parliament
Yes, you are.
is corrupt,
I don't think
if
he
it doesn't
understands
consist
anything.
of good
How can
people,
Prashant Bhushan say that even if Parliament passes a bill, we
are
will
not
take
above
Not all at the same
What is
time.
that?
not above the law.
1 second, gentlemen. Not all at the same time.
What Prashant Bhushan and Mayank Gandhi are saying just bears out what I was saying, that the Team Anna does not want a solution. They want confrontation again and again.
Question
Because-
allegation.
Why- why-
No,
why-
but this is something you should not dismiss, Adam.
No, I'm not dismissing.
You are
I'm nobody.
dismissing
No, sir.
because it is a very, very central point.
I am not dismissing.
It is a central point.
I am very specific because I'm going to, and in order to, I think I'll have to provoke Chandan Mitra in order to elicit the right response from him.
You are not going to
but
get a
1 minute,
response.
1 minute.
He's
No,
sitting
I
on
would,
the
I would,
shelf
I would
today.
remind Mr. Santosh, Mr. Chandan Mitra. I would remind Dr. Chandan Mitra that Dr. Chandan Mitra, you said it's irresponsible to talk of government sources and media reports. I'd like to remind you that you yourself relied on newspaper reports on the Liechtenstein list to argue against the Congress only 1 or 2 weeks back. So now you don't believe media reports because you don't want to make your position clear tonight.
Arnab.
You'd rather wait.
What was our demand? We said these things have appeared in the media, the government must react. We never called somebody an accused, or we did not pass judgment. We said, now since all this seems to be coming out in the media,
Santosh.
let the government come on the floor of the parliament
okay.
and tell us what is the truth.
I want to
Mr. Pranab Mukherjee that day kind of addressed this issue in the black money debate.
One second.
That's
Okay.
all we want.
Okay.
Let the government, and now enough time has passed. The Prime Minister pledged that this bill will be passed in the winter session.
Right.
3 days are left. When will the government table the bill? When will we debate? And when will the bill be passed?
Well,
That's
okay.
why I'm saying that no point, Arnab, in speculating. Now let's just wait. Let us wait for the delivery.
Wait. Okay, Santosh Desai. Now, and I must say, Santosh Desai has been listening on patiently, doesn't mean that he should be excluded from the conversation. Apologies for coming to you late, Santosh Desai. How do you see this debate going?
No, I really feel that the central point is a simple, what we are discussing, one simple thing. Who disagrees with the fact that the CBI should not be under government control? Who has a problem with that, and what is that argument? Everything else is is this second order kind of a debate that, this issue has been attracting, doubting Team Anna's motives and all of that. But at the central level, who can argue? And with what argument can you say that the government should continue to be in control of the central investigative agency? Now,
Nobody.
there has not been a single argument currently that has been put on the table that defends that move. In the absence of that, where is the question at all? all other arguments pale against this central one simple clear-cut question. The mechanism for it can be debated, but the fact that the government should not be in control of the central investigative
question is
something the opposition, the BJP has argued for a long time.
Question is to Prashant Bhushan. Gentlemen, I'm running short of time. Time is my enemy tonight.
Can I ask one question, Arnab? I have one question.
Who is it, to Chandan Mitra
Under
again or
whose
someone else?
control should the investigative agency be?
Pardon me?
I said, under whose control do you believe that the investigative agency should be?
Okay. I duck the question. The
Or do you
question goes to
believe there
Prashant
should be
Bhushan.
no control?
The question goes to Prashant Bhushan. Prashant Bhushan, answer the question, please.
Yes, in our view, it should be under the administrative control of this 11-member or 9-member Lokpal. That means they should have the power to decide who should be appointed in this investigative agency, who should be transferred, where, who should be promoted when, and whether disciplinary proceedings should be taken against them or not. In addition to that, in our bill, we have provided for the establishment of independent complaints authorities in each state against officers of the CBI or against officers of the investigative machinery of the Lokpal.
No, running short of time.
Whom citizens can address their complaints.
I have a further question.
More questions next time.
Why should that not be under control of an independent director of prosecution?
But possibly...
Rather than an
Or a
agency
prime
which is
minister.
itself.
Investigative machinery cannot be under the control of a director of prosecution. The prosecution directorate is separate from the investigative machinery.
Mr. Bhushan, don't restrict your mind. Now look at it. Look at the Lokpal. The Lokpal himself is meant to be an investigative agency. At the same time, a Lokpal is also to determine various major issues. If we were to have a directorate of criminal prosecution, who will be under the, the general superintendent?
Now, here's
and who the investigative authority has to place
we're going to
before. We're going to solve the problem?
I think we're getting into a long and detailed debate on this issue. We're running short of time. I want to ask once at the very end, Anil Dharkar, you made an observation on Anna Hazare, which is your view. I think I would like to make it clear our channel does not endorse that view, and neither do many of our panelists. That is your individual view, and I'd like to just give you the opportunity to ask you again, would you because retract tonight on the news the observation you have made on Anna Hazare, which has been a personal observation?
It was not a personal observation.
Yes. Would you like to retract it?
I have
Do
said...
it.
Would you like to retract it?
Mr. Dharkar, you should take it.
Would you like to retract the personal
And retract and say what?
No, just that it's personal observation. We can disagree on issues and the issues Anna Hazare raises, but at an individual
Anna
level.
Hazare is a one-track mind.
Okay, now
Right?
I think it's going.
And I
think you should.
I really feel that someone leading
What about
a
your
movement
track?
like his
right.
should have a much broader view.
Okay.
should
How many
have
tracks
an
are there in
understanding
that?
of
Okay, now
complex issues.
Anil Dharkar, I put the question and I clarify that neither this channel nor our participant, we don't make personal observations on individuals and we stay with that. But I thank you for coming. I thank each of our participants for coming. I thank Prashant Bhushan for coming. He's coming all the way from Palampur tonight. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, we need to debate this, or whether this is important, whether this is minutiae, people need to know. Thank you very much.